All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our session today, marketing. I am very happy to welcome you today. I'm actually gonna start warming up the session and start to introduce myself and introduce you to the session. While more and more people will join us. So if you look here, when I look at you, I'm looking just talking to you and doing the presentation. But from time to time, I'll be looking to my right side, probably your left, depending how the camera is, to see if you have any comments. So we got, for example, a beautiful good morning from Fuad and from Pure Soul on the YouTube. And please feel free to interact. Let us see how many are now with us online and where are you tapping in from. So I just want you to write down a good morning and write down the city that you're from while I am introducing to you our session today, marketing. Right, so to start with, I'd love to introduce myself. My name is Kais Bedran, and I am personally born in the UAE 40-something years ago, and was very lucky to discover when I was 19 that I love training, and training is my passion. I started my career with the World Bank. The World Bank was doing a project that helps SMEs grow. So they trained young consultants on many topics. One of them was marketing. And I was the marketing manager on parallel at the same time. And then I left, I was at that time in Egypt. I'm from Syria originally, but I lived a lot of my life in Egypt. So around 20 years in Dubai, and then back another 10 years, and in the middle, 10 years in Egypt. So my background and why is it relevant to marketing? First of all, I'm an engineer by education. I was marketing manager for a few years. I consulted with many companies through the World Bank on marketing. I started my training career with Altair Group. I was training manager for Altair. If you're not in Dubai, you probably heard of brands such as Gucci and Armani and Range Rover and Ferrari. It's a company that owns around 70 brands. I left to London where I studied filmmaking and a lot of human psychology programs and marketing. Came back to be the training manager of Louis Vuitton, one of the marketing gurus in the world. And after that, I started my company, Gray Matter. As you see down in on the slide, Gray Matter is 5 years old. Listen to this, because I think this is very relevant. It's 5 years. We are doing 7 figures business. Gray Matter exists in 5 countries, including London, Estonia, Hong Kong, Jeddah, and Paris. And we didn't pay $1 in marketing. Not $1. My clients includes Cartier, Bulgari, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, PepsiCo, and all on a global level. So if you think of it, we are an Arabic company based in Dubai that is exporting training to the world, yet we didn't pay money in marketing. So today, what I want to do is to work with you on some hacks and some ideas that can help you grow your business, reach to an accelerated growth without spending a lot of money. To give you a background on what is the whole program part of, you probably know, if you're part of this beautiful hackathon that was launched in the UAE, on last January till last March, there was an amazing initiative where a hackathon was launched in the UAE to gather some of the best innovative ideas there is in the region. From March onwards, what we're trying to do now is to accelerate. That's the accelerator for those innovative ideas with sessions like the one that I'm doing now, with other sessions, so that till the 15th of September, the best ideas could demonstrate and receive some funds or be ready to grow and move forward. Such an amazing initiative. And I don't know what to call you. Should we call you hackathoners or hackers or hackathoners? I like the idea of being a hackathoner. Hi, my name is Kais and I'm a hackathoner. Sounds good. Right, so hackathoners, let's start on marketing. And I just want to take a look on YouTube quickly. So good morning to everybody. A lot of people are from the UAE, Abu Dhabi, Alain, Ajman. Shout out to all of you. Welcome again. If you're just joining, please write down where are you writing from, and of course, or listening from. And of course, if you have questions through the conversation, please write it down here so I can interact with you rather than giving you a lecture for another 45 minutes. Let me start with a question, and I need your help. Look at me, getting closer to you. I need your help. Look at this bottle of water. In the photo, it's Masafi. I couldn't find Masafi, so I have an Arwa. How much would you pay to buy this bottle? I'll wait for you 30 seconds, right quickly. How much would you pay for this bottle? Abu Dhabi people, Saudi Arabia, welcome Hadil. Dubai people, 2 dirhams from Iman, 1.5 dirham from Maryam. Okay, some people are paying, I mean, the max we got so far is 1 dirham from Ismail. Ismail, بحبحهم شوي. So 2 dirhams from Munir, and we have somebody from Oman. طيب, all right, so let's say it's a 2 dirhams bottle of water, and you bought it. Maybe if you're a bit thirsty, you might pay a little bit more, like 5 dirhams or something. And if it's in a hotel, maybe you pay 10. But look at what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this out, and I'm gonna keep this bottle of water. A question for you, and please answer quickly. How much would you pay if you saw this bottle of water in the supermarket? How much would you pay for this bottle of water as is in the supermarket? Would you pay for this bottle of water? If you see it like this, nothing on it, would you pay for it? None. Absolutely. Probably you will pay nothing if there's nothing that guarantees. If you see this as it is, no brand, null, exactly what Azam's saying. If you see it like this in the supermarket, probably wouldn't buy it. Yet, if I try to sell you this paper and I say, pay 2 dirhams, you will not give me 2 dirhams for this paper, not even a dirham. But together, this bottle of water went from 0 to 2 dirhams. And if I exchange it to Evian, probably it will be even more. So what we learn from this, ladies and gentlemen, you and your ideas, listen to this, you and your ideas are the bottle of water. You might have pure genius ideas, amazing, and you value every single penny paid for you. However, if you don't have the right brand on you, people will not pay for you. Think of this in your life. Think of this in your work. If you're a hard worker, you're amazing, but you don't have the right brand, the right marketing, you will never get enough of what you deserve. However, if you're just a paper, if you're just a brand, if you're just a yabba yabba, blah, 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 you probably will not get paid as well. Combining a fantastic product with the right branding, you will get paid the right amount. And the more you invest in your brand, the more the brand is worthy. At the end, they're all water, but you pay for Evian 20 dirhams, but you pay for Masafi a dirham, and some of you wanted to pay half a dirham. Thank you. That's so generous. So the more you invest in your brand, the more you can get more equity, and that as well related to your business. Let's start to think like that. And let's think as a marketeer in those first 2 seconds or 2 minutes of the presentation, where we look at our job as, okay, I want people to pay more. I want to give them value. I want to give them everything qualitative, but I want them to pay more for my own brand. Does that make sense to you? Can I hear a yes if it makes sense? If not, you can always ask question, but let me write and let me see some of the yeses if it makes sense and you're following so far. We want, as marketeers, to make people thirsty for more of who we are and what we do. And today, what I want to do is to make you feel at ease. Thank you. Hola. Yes, perfect. Prince Hilal. Thank you. What I want you to do is to feel at ease into getting into marketing. I want you to learn few hacks, few ideas. I want you to avoid the mistakes that I did, that many entrepreneurs do. And at the end, I want you to start to think strategically. I mean, this is 45 minutes. There is a lot of planning courses online and for free everywhere. What I want to do here is to get to the mindset, connect you to the plan a little bit, but I want you as well to start to think differently so you can, after 45 minutes, start to get more and more into the marketing, and hopefully with very low amount of money can create a good impact on the world. Now, I use Selma as a story that we will build our program on. So it's the narrative. And Selma is an entrepreneur just like you. And she's just starting. She doesn't have an idea yet, so she's not sure. I'm taking Selma as if she's on zero. No idea. She want to start her job as an entrepreneur. She has basic knowledge, no budget, and she's hoping that she become one of those people that in a year or 2 or 3 double the amount, the equity of her business, and maybe sell it for a couple or millions, if not billions, like Kareem. But I assume that you are just starting, and if you're not, you will still benefit from the program. You don't have an idea, and if you do, this can help you make sure that your idea is on the right path. You have basic knowledge, and if you have more, that's great. You don't have a budget, and if you have, send it to me. I'll give you my kidding. It's good that you have a budget, and if you're hoping for fund, aren't we all hoping for funds? So we want, whether the fund is coming from our client, whether the fund is coming from a business, we want to be funded or profitable some way or another. My agenda on the coming 40 minutes, we will start with the idea of where to start. What is the right mindset for us to start? The second thing is we want to define the famous STP, segmenting, targeting, and positioning. So we want to know where to segment, how to target, how to position. I'm not going to give you the theory. I'm going to give you how I think as an entrepreneur. And then how can I create a brand? We'll do a little bit of branding, very quick one, but you'll find us creating for Selma a brand. And then I'll cover 2 main ideas into the digital marketing and more like a digital selling exercise. Are you following with me? You ready to start? Let me hear a big, some yes, if I may. So we got Shaima saying yes, Hadil, Hilal said yes, Omar, Munir. I love Munir's attitude. Munir Azam, why not? I love this attitude. This is a marketeer attitude. Yes, hi, Saad. Yes, with you. We're all here. Let's do it. So where to start? Mainly, one of the biggest mistakes that people, entrepreneur, I don't think a mistake. Wait a second. Marina saying, da, she's from Russia or from a Russian-speaking country. Now, if you are like any other entrepreneur, you will listen to the media, and most of us start to think of the idea. And the idea is like, for example, we want to go and create something new. However, research is finding that, you know what? The most successful entrepreneurs actually did not come with a great idea. They come with an innovative idea, which means they look to a gap, they found a gap, and they make it better. Now, if you think of this a little bit more and you grasp this concept, this might save you years on years of, wasted time. Start with the gap. Start with the gap, not with an idea. if you ask today Middle Easterns, and even like I travel the world and I train all over the world, so I always ask this question. I was in Sweden around few months, actually a year passed very quickly. And I asked the question in an entrepreneurship event, ladies and gentlemen, how do you start thinking? And they all say, we have an amazing idea. This amazing idea will be amazing if it is based on a gap. Let me give you an example. Microsoft is not a new idea. Microsoft is a better DOS. Facebook is not a new idea. Facebook is a better social networking or a communication thing. Apple is not a brand new idea. Apple is a normal development of communication and computing. Find the gap, find the problem, and fill it. And since we're talking about the gap, Gap, a lot of people don't understand what is the brand. Gap, as a brand, as a fashion brand, was created to fill up the gap in jeans. So they found that not all the cuts at that time, and not all the colors, the washes, they call them, they're not always available in the market. So Gap came up with most of the cuts and most of the washes to fill up the gap. So remember, fill up the gap. And then I want to challenge you a bit, and feel free to discuss it with me. I want you to think inside the box. I know everybody's saying, think outside the box. My nature as an entrepreneur and as a consultant is always, whenever I hear something that became stereotypical, everyone is like, hey, let's think outside the box. Even when you're going out on lunch, let's think out of the box. What are we going to order today? People want to go outside the box, which is amazing. It's cool, it's creative, it's lovely, it's fun. However, as an entrepreneur, let's start thinking inside the box. You know why? Think of it for a few seconds. We think inside the box. Oh, sorry, I didn't give you a few seconds. Okay, we think inside the box because all your ideas are in the box. Ever wondered why people like Da Vinci or Van Gogh or the artists were not appreciated in their time? Because they were, Da Vinci was kind of appreciated. Yeah, actually he was appreciated, but other artists was not. A lot of them were not, because they were outside the box. It's good to be a visionary, but even Elon Musk is not outside the box. He knows very well that the world is going to move to electrical cars, and that's inside the box. He knows very well that it is time to go to space, and there is money. That's the gap. There is money that government want to spend, but NASA is not doing enough because they're not entrepreneurial, they're governmental. And in the box, he found his ideas. So I want you as an entrepreneur to, take my words, not for granted, check it yourself, but I want you to think inside the box. I'm going to give you the method. I created this method for my team and myself. We create a table and we give it a name. Here we go. The table, I call it here, the box, I call it the purpose. You can call it Abdullah. You can call it whatever you like. And then it would be nice. It's called Abdullah's box. And then I do this table, I'm passionate about the tribes that I know, their aspirations are, and those are my ideas. So I'm going to go quickly through it. Selma, she's passionate about rugby. She's a rugby player. She loves food. She's an interior designer. She loves interior design, and she's perfect in AI. All amazing fields. That's what Selma's good at. The tribes that she knows people from RTA. If you're not in Dubai, RTA is like the Traffic Regulation Authority. Yeah, that's RTA. So she knows good people in RTA, highly connected. She does. Don't tell anybody. Chefs. She knows a lot of chefs because she loves food. She likes style. She has a lot of stylish women. She know a very important person. His name is Ahmed, and she know rugby players. So now, after you do you're passionate about, what you're passionate about, put down your tribes, the people that you are connected to. And I don't mean connected is like, I know, I don't know, like I met Bill Gates once. Doesn't mean that Bill Gates is one of my tribe members. So I wouldn't write Bill Gates. So write the tribe. Tribe means people connected. And then aspirations. What do RTA want to do? Like, think of their future. Well, RTA wants to apply artificial intelligence into their work. The chefs would like to sell more and would like to open more restaurants. And the people who like food would like to discover new restaurants. The stylish ladies would like to get style advice, or not style because they're stylish already, but some maybe new fashion, new items. And rugby players would like to schedule everything on a computer or mobile, maybe get sponsors. They want to win. They want to win their games. And then we'll do a brainstorming. So I invite the team to come up with ideas for those aspirations. So here are the summary. Of course, you can take more time. Marina loves sailing, amazing. When Khaled, when I didn't get it. So for the ideas, we came up with a simulator. So they wanted to create a simulator for the cars so they can figure out when traffic is busy and try to find solutions. She wanted to create an AI new food recommendation so they know what you like and they recommend food for you through artificial intelligence. Maybe a social media marketing agency, a tactic creator where you can, for the rugby players, you can put your competitor, football, whatever, rugby competition. The AI will study their tactics over years and will give you the best tactics for your match. And then where to buy what. What I do at the end is I choose the difficulty. So creating a simulator from 3 is very difficult, 1 is very easy. So the simulator to create 1 is very difficult, take time, take money. The new food recommendation is kind of okay. 2, the social media marketing agency is super easy. We have the connection, you can do it. The tactics creator is in the middle. And then where to buy what is very easy. I recommend to you, if you're not starting yet, try to find an idea, either 1 or 2, either easy or not too difficult. The reason is you have a very little resources in the beginning and you don't have a lot of connections. So if you want to start right away, what will happen is you're going to be burning out, whether with time, whether with efforts, whether with resources. So the easier it is, the more successful it gets. And then you can change. But always try to find something not difficult. That's a recommendation. If you're the person who would like to go like Rocky movie, run and do the boxing and be the champion, feel free. This is what is the greatness all about, taking a challenge. However, research is telling us 3% out of 97% will fail if they take the difficult way. 97% will succeed if you stayed in the box and take an easier route. Think of that for quick success. Actually, I want to show you this idea. She decided to go for interior design, special product, simply a website that can give people ideas on where to buy what. Why? Because there is a lot of ladies and gentlemen that want to furnish their homes, but the available is very normal. They want the selected items, I don't know, a mask from Zimbabwe, a little feather from I don't know where, etc. So that's her decision to start easy website connections. She can do it almost with not a lot of money. The reason is because every decision that you take to complicate your business, multiply it by 10 when it comes to your money and investment. Because you will spend, if it's complicated to understand, you will spend a lot of time explaining to the team, explaining to the PR, explaining to the marketing. It's so difficult. Make it so simple. That will help you start up very quickly. And remember, your investors want something simple, yet different. So you need to balance both. All right. The part 2 is, let's now define the segment. Market that doesn't identify a customer in the heart, marketing that doesn't base the work on the customer in the heart is not marketing. It's a waste of everyone's time. So now what we want to do with Selma is help Selma imagine the client. So if you're in the stage of Selma, I want you to think of segmenting, targeting, positioning as a storytelling, as a story. Segmenting is when I divide the market. So I might divide it into income, I might divide it into types, into work, demographics, whatever you call it. Targeting is a decision where I say, I'm going to take this segment and work on it. And then positioning is where I start to position mainly what is the value of my company or brand into this segment. Are we the price leading? Are we the loss leader? Are we the best quality? What are we exactly? This is all decisions that you want to take. The first thing, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. If you're joining, we're trying here. I'm just going to tell you that we're not going to go typical. I want to give you hacks that really works quickly. Don't take my words for granted. Think of it, put it into your context, into your market. But I'm giving you the conclusion of more than, I trained in total 120,000 people in 30 countries. Not all of them are entrepreneurs, but I want to give you the outcome of my experience, losing all my money in the first year of my business and then becoming a 7-figure business in more than 5 countries, with amazing brands, with almost zero budget in marketing paid, and now receiving investments. Plus the other schools and people that I worked with and I coached and I saw them growing and making a lot of success. So the first question in segmenting, I want you to sit down, put your dreams and ego on the side, just for a few minutes. Bring your favorite drink, coffee, tea, or anything else, and then allow your brain with no dreams, with no ego, to write down who pays for me. Who is the payer for my brand? If they are investors, that's your client at the end. Maybe investors wants data, wants future, wants to know what are you going to do with the data that you receive. If your end client is a driver, then you need to live like a driver, maybe even convince somebody to drive the car and act like a Kareem for a day or two. You need to live it fully, but think of who is gonna pay you the money. Think of it before all the, who is the segment and what age and what lifestyle. Put this on the side, keep it for the consultants. You're the entrepreneur now. Sit down with your cup of tea and think who pay you. And then start to do what is on the right side and not do what is on the left side. The challenge for startups today, that there is not enough data. If I tell you, so what do you know if you want to start a competition to Kareem? What do you know? Well, we know that Kareem is doing well, but we don't know a lot of data. You need to really dig in. You need to ask a lot of people. Data is not easy to receive and find. Data is expensive. Market research is not always reliable. You might ask people for ideas and they will tell you something, but when it comes to reality, and please remember this, a lot of entrepreneurs, when they start with the product that they ask their friends and family about, and the product is there with the right price, no one buys. Why? Because they tell you things that they think is right, but when it comes to reality, it doesn't actually happen. So market research is important, but not always reliable, and segmenting is crucial. If you don't do segmenting the right way, your brand will struggle. So here's a few hacks. Start free MVPs, minimum viable products. Start few products. Do 3 or 4, put them on a website, gather data, maybe a free ebook, free whatever, and let people interact with your ideas, whatever your idea is. Create a magnet event. If you're starting an AI business, create an AI business online that is for free, so you can interact with people and listen to them without them noticing that you're asking the question. Because when you ask people the question, they give you the idealistic answer, not the real answer. It's a bias in our brain, so you need to, as a marketeer, to read through that. Let them talk and discuss with you and see what they want. Listen to social media. Social media usually don't lie. There is many apps. Just say social media listening or social media data mining apps, and you'll find many social media information apps that you can get and buy, and they're not very expensive at all. Copy a model. If you know a model that is successful, it's not wrong to go copy it exactly, but make it a slightly little bit better. If you make it a lot better, it will become totally a new model. Make it slightly different. And then why not launch a product for a small tribe? All of this to help you start to have a feel on who is the target market. Now, sit down, go back to your tea, and think of the persona of this man who pays you, or this lady that pays you the money. And start to write everything you can, everything you, not if SMM uses woman as a weapon, you know what I mean, Kais? Not really, Marina. Can you explain to me? So try to imagine the persona of this person. So, draw him or her. What movies do they like? What do they feel? No information is stupid information. Write as much as you want. Take time. Go meet them till you start to imagine, as if you're an actor in a role, till you start to live and think like them, because that will help you take a right decision as an entrepreneur. Then you say, all right, this is exactly my target. That's segmented. You segmented it already. You have all the behaviors that they do. And now you take a decision. And now you are going to launch your brand in a way, which is the positioning, that makes those people feel value. I'm going to give you a few examples in a bit, but follow me on this. Before I give you examples, here are some tips if you don't have enough, or hacks if you don't have enough information. Test. You know what? Just throw some ideas. If you heard of Mind Valley, you probably know of Vishen Laikani. A great company doing amazing work and training. Just check mindvalley.com. So I asked Vishen, I was meeting him at a conference. I was like, hey, Vishen, sorry, I didn't ask him. We were together in an entrepreneurship conversation. And he said, sometimes we launch more than 100 ideas for 2 of them to be successful. Of course, Mind Valley is around $60 million business a year, so they can afford launching products. However, for you, what I want to do is to launch tiny MVPs, tiny products, so you can test the market and see who is working and who is not. Launch with dual or more positions. Launch with dual or more positions. What I mean is, your product, launch it from two sides of one for the people who can pay and one for the people who don't pay. I'm going to give you an example in a bit. And you can launch from your company multi-brands. So for example, Gray Matter has the luxury work, has the entrepreneurship work. We're launching Gray Matter University very soon, and we're launching a new company in AI. People don't know a lot about the difference, but what I'm doing here is the same almost science and team, but we're launching multiple brands in the market that could tackle the market in a different way, and that will generate for us bigger income. Let's take practical examples that you can check. Bayzat, one of my favorite companies, dear friends and clients. Bayzat is an insurance broker, but when you deal with them, they're not insurance brokers. They help you as an individual. So see how they play the position. As an individual, you can get amazing prices for and support on insurance. As a company, you can get an HR app that can help everyone, all your team, to get the right insurance, book the right hospital, get all the information possible. So the 2 positions, same product. Shams, amazing company that I highly recommend. It's a free zone actually, in Sharjah. Amazing spirit, very passionate people. They have very low price license, but they support you with training. So they are giving you the entry level for small entrepreneurs. At the same time, they're working with you as if you're an expensive company, which makes both companies come to them. Luxury Closet is luxury, but it sells used brands and offers. In luxury, usually we don't do discounts, but they are luxury on discount and used stuff. So 2 positions, inviting two different type of people to buy from them. When you launch this, I'm just gonna take a minute to read Marina's point. If someone use social media to harm someone, that's forbidden. Yeah, of course, social media could be used in a bad way, but there's ethical social media listening. There are apps that help you get information on your target and get information on what they do, what they like, it's all ethical, and it's all based on their agreement. Now, we kind of figured out that Salma wants to create a brand that talks to ladies, mainly ladies, because that's her network, that is looking to buy selected or selective interior products, whether it's a feather, whether it is a quirky style, whether it's a hippie style, maybe bohemian, something from all over the world. It's a platform that you can find all those rare but beautiful pieces. Now, how do we create a brand? Now it's the stage where we're creating a brand. First of all, you want to focus on the solution. Yes, I just put this hint to remind you this. I remembered now that while you're creating your branding, remember that branding is telling people who we are. You know, engineers and entrepreneurs get so in love with the idea that they forget, and they make the idea perfect, that they forget to tell people about the idea. So it is really the moment where you are now going into the marketing outside. You know, you got the idea, you tested it, you understood the client now, or the customer. It's your moment to create a brand that talks to them. Branding success or brand success is, in my view, the combination of those three premises. The first one is brand promise. Brand promise is what I tell the market I do for you, which is the unique selling position, it's the positioning, it's your story. We'll talk about storytelling in a bit. It's the brand integrity. So if you have a promise, let's say I promise the world gray matter is the best training provider you will get. Our promise actually is we get you the right formula. So our promise is the formula. Then if the formula, which is the product, is not right, or the price is not right, or the people, they're not right, then the brand integrity is not right. So we work, for example, with brands like, let's say, Chanel. In luxury, we don't use the word cheap. The word is not right to use. There are certain vocabularies in luxury that you cannot use. You cannot say hi. It's always good afternoon and good morning. So imagine you're talking to them and I said, hi, you know what? I have a cheap solution that can help you. The people, the brand integrity is not right. So even if my promise is great, boom, things are not working together. I have to send the right person who talks to them so they connect and fall in love with what they say and get them the right price and get them the right product. Does that make sense to you? Let me hear quickly. Are you following? Are you enjoying the program? Is it interesting? We're growing in numbers. So we're 70 now. I just want to hear a quick yes, yes, if you're following me. Give Kais an interaction till we meet one day face to face. And great. Suha, yes, thank you. Iman, Hadil, Mariam. What's going on? Ladies are only answering. Gentlemen, Hilal is answering. Saad, perfect. Now, communication is your third part of your brand success. It's your social media, it's the promotions that you do, it's the collaborations that you do with people. All of them together work on the brand promise. Perfect. Thank you, Zuhur. Thank you for all of you for your interaction. That makes me feel good. Thank you. Now, brand promise, I promise you to live with you. No, it's not like that. Brand promise, a promise is what your brand is delivering, as simple as that. First of all, start the conversation while you're doing this meetings with others and market research. Try to echo. Echo means hear what the market is telling you and just say it. As simple as that. However, if you want to make it better, especially with investors, there is something called the 10x rule. 10x rule is, how can I make, that's not in the promise, but internally, if there is something in the market, how can I make it 10 times better? Or less, but shoot for 10 times better. So you echo the words of the client into your promise and keep it so simple. For example, if we look to one of our brands in gray matter, we say dedication to what matters. And not everyone will understand it, but a training manager always says, this company is expensive, this company is, I don't know, not very theoretical. So we tell them, we dedicate ourselves to what matters, which is the right formula, the right content, and the good price. So always make it so simple, and use the words that you heard from your client. Let me give you some examples. Those are some of the best companies in the Middle East by Forbes. A lot of people don't hear about them even. So keep face. See, the brand is simple, keep face. And it's an influencer marketing. This is their promise. Influencer marketing bridge between influencers and brands. Look, so this is from their websites. Very simple, straightforward. Influencer marketing bridge between influencers and brands. No hishik bishik, no extra bomba momba, nothing. It's so simple and straightforward. People get it right away. Tomato sale, best shopping offers, promotions, and discounts. Simple and sweet. Magnet, most powerful startup platform. Simple and sweet. Dr. 5, connecting doctors and patients, and so on and so forth. Simple, that's your promise. You need to create it so you repeat it to your team, you repeat it to your investors, you repeat it to your mom and dad, you repeat it to everybody till they get, you are X that makes Y. Now, startup mindset, never compare yourself to the Nike and Google and Apple of the world. One of the big mistakes that startups do is, but Nike did this. If you can compare yourself to Nike 30 years ago, when they start, it's okay, but put the context. At that time, few brands in the world is doing what Nike was doing. So they were like actually just competing with 3 or 4. Now they're competing with everybody. So you cannot learn a lot from Nike. You can draw inspiration, but put it on the context of today, where today, the reality, everything is invented and everyone is an entrepreneur and everyone is starting. That's amazing, but you need to play it like today. Google already controls the world. What will we learn from Google? It's amazing to learn, get inspiration, but don't compare yourself to those people. Get some inspiration from them. Keep it simple, the KISS rule. Keep it simple all the time and straightforward. And be agile, Now, as an entrepreneur, you can go left hishik bishik, made you laugh? Okay, great. I'll do more hishik bishiks for you. So always be, agile, because now don't go full forward. This is my idea, unless you really, really know. But, be a bit agile and make yourself the brand image. That cuts 90% of your budget. People buy from gray matter because of me. I'm sorry, this sounds like egocentric because of me. Hey, look at me. No, it is because I worked hard on my integrity in the market, and I started to sell my tribe to a degree. I was giving a training once in Switzerland. I cannot tell you the name of the brand, but it's one of the luxury watches. Think alongside the Rolex. It's not Rolex. And we were sitting together having a dinner with one of my clients, and she told me this. She told me, Kais, you are an idiot. And I was like, what? She's like, you're an idiot because I'm telling you as a friend now, not as your client, because no one heard about you. And I was like, you did. I have 3,000 followers on Instagram and maybe 5 or 6 on LinkedIn, but that's my target. People who cares is listening to me. And of course, I would love to have 100,000 followers, but maybe I get 100,000 off target. So always make sure that you are the right image 24/7, with no lying, with no pretending. Be authentic, because authenticity and reliability will be your will be your gate opener for whatever you want. So now we want to create a brand. I'm just aware of time, so I'm going to try to finish in around 10 or 15 minutes. The brand that I chose is simple, double O, because double O, Google, Goop, it always makes people go forward, easy to understand and culturally relevant. So I chose for her this brand called Hupo, because, in Arabic culture, she's targeting Arabs. In Arabic culture, the Hupo, or Hudhud, brought news to Solomon. So she's bringing news to the people. Now, her story, for you to know, she's using now storytelling. Again, for administrator, I know I'm a bit over time. I'll try to finish in around 5 minutes. I hope that's okay with you. 10 minutes. For her storytelling, this is something to keep in your mind, why you need to create a story and say your story all the time. It is because of the gentleman Rob Walker's. He did a test. He bought those items and wave in C. I like it. Your movement hands like wave. Sorry, I move a lot, but it's yeah. I'll calm down a bit. Maybe I cannot. Now with the Rob Walker's, what he did is he brought those items from garage sale. Those items, like people want to throw them, they sell them for less than $1. He paid $128 to buy all those items, 200 items, and he invited 200 storytellers to write one story on each product. One story on each product, and they put them on eBay, $128. What do you think is the percentage of growth into his profit? He bought them for 128. Guess what is the percentage? Think a bit. If you're 500% thinking that you're going well, 1,000% is going well. He sold them for 6,250,000%. Can you imagine? Just by adding a story to a brand, to a product that is trash, he managed to sell it for 6,250% more. From $128, he sold them for $8,000. And people remember your story more than your features. So if you don't have a story, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't say your story, people will not feel your brand. Our last part is digital marketing. What I want you to be aware of is the idea of a funnel. And I want to finish with this. Digital marketing, for somebody who doesn't have data, will be like walking in a jungle, in Amazon jungle, which is very, very rainy and full of animals, blinded and deaf. Your survival is going to be like, possibility of survival is depending on how much you believe in God. And maybe, angels will come and say, what are you doing here? So let's not depend a lot on randomness in social media. Let's depend on God in our bless and creation. If you believe in the universe, God, whatever you believe in, that's amazing. But you have to take the steps. Here are the steps of the funnel. Start with a magnet. A magnet event is an Instagram live. It's a Facebook live, something that we're doing now. And through this interaction, throw in a little bit about your product. Let people interact with you. And then get them to know about your brand. So probably if we take my example, because I did it on purpose, you know about my brand, you know about Gray Matter. Probably you know that I have Instagram, and I'm going to give it to you in a bit. Probably you know about what I'm doing. I try to show you, to bring interest for you by adding value. And now, from, I don't know, 100 person that saw this, who saw this video, probably some of you from the 100, maybe 10, usually 10% will go and check my Instagram and follow me. And then that will create an interaction. The action doesn't have to be selling a product. I don't do coaching personal except for very few people, and I don't sell it. So there's no driven sales. I do a lot of free work. So my action is interaction. So you lead people to this action. You don't have to do free and do free bono things. What you need to do is to find something that you can sell to your clients. Question times. Do you have any question? Please write it down. I'm going to read some of your comments. Go ahead and write some questions, and I will get them as well through the WhatsApp group. So we have some people that will help us. Let's get some of your questions. You're welcome. I give you all the time. Thank you, Marina. Thank you for the compliment. Nashwa said, could you please send email to inform us about the time one day before? This is for the admin. Make notification for the channel to get notified. I think the admin answered, maybe. Khalid, Allahu Akbar. Yes, I will text you, bro. Sure, thanks. Any questions? What I want you mainly is if you can write down something of your situation where you are, I'm very happy to answer. If not, you can always connect to the administration team, to the team that is behind the hackathon, and they will connect you to me if there's questions. You can always send me voice message on Instagram. I answer voice messages. Texting, I'm dyslexic. Texting is not easy for me, but writing will be, voice message will be great. So here is my contacts, Qusay wa Qais. So, you know, you can feel free to contact me and voice message me if you have questions. What is amazing in the hackathon, that the spirit behind it is just mind-blowing. It's people, whether Muhammad behind the scene or Aboud or the rest of the team, they really, really want to help. And I am very happy to add my support to their support. And if there's anything we can do to push you forward, and maybe in a year or 2 or 3 or 10, you come back and you say, I made it. Okay, we got a question from Ahmed. My question is, how can I drag customers after positioning Instagram post? What's the key factor behind making the exposure with the customer react buying? Okay, now Instagram has a little challenge. They're trying to reduce, I don't know if they're trying or that's their algorithm, they're reducing the organic reach, and they're trying to push you to do sponsor ads. So the number one is, if you're doing sponsor ads, you need to do a you need to hire somebody that does amazing targeting so that your ads doesn't go for waste. Other tools. A lot of people want to be interviewed today. Find the influencers of your domain and invite them for a live. Invite 10, at least 5 will agree to come with you on live. And what happened when both of you are live, their audience get exposed to your social media. And remember, leave the last most important post right before the live, so they see it. If they like it, it adds value to them, they follow it. Second thing is use voice messages. Voice messages on Instagram tells the algorithm that you are using the full capacity of Instagram. So when you use it by connecting to people, Instagram pushes your profile forward organically. That's a small hack. Now, what you want to do is to look your target audience and genuinely, don't be like the rest. Add them and talk to them. You know, I don't know, hey, Linda, I saw your interest in art. I love art myself. Don't want to waste a lot of your time. I just want to tell you that we do a lot of this thing and I'm happy to support if there's anything. Meanwhile, have a great day. Straightforward, no lies, no bullshit, nothing, straight to the point. And using the voice message can get a lot of people to like you back. And of course, the comments. We have other questions. Thank you for the questions. So we'll continue tomorrow. What are your thoughts on product-led growth? What are some of the real clever moves you suggested for growth on a $0 marketing budget? All right, so Qusay, let's start with the both of them together. What you want to do is to prioritize your client to the product. When you present the product to the world, present it as the client benefit. So show the client life change, what is going on with them, not what your product is. The product is secondary. There is now 3,500, 7 million billion online websites that sells things, for example. However, Spree talks to mothers and tell them, you know, gonna make your happiness better, or Mom's World with the story of amazing inspiration behind Mom's World. So you need to talk to your client, explain your story, and then comes the product. The other part was zero budget work is to create zero budget. I cannot do the zero. I can do $100, which is a landing page, an Instagram, and you talking about your products, and you wait for the first client to pay for you. You need to either use Google customer-based funding to find a model that works with you, or you need to create something educational, easy to follow. The other alternative is create amazing products like ebooks or whatever, and gather a lot of data, and then go to somebody that needs this data. Let's say you gather cookbooks, and then you say all of those people downloaded biryani books, and you go to a company that is biryani, and you say, you know what, I have 50,000 Middle Eastern person who's interested in biryani. Would you like those contacts? So you start to get money and fund it. I'm happy to answer a bit more. I have 4 minutes. Admin, please tell me if I can extend a bit to answer. Actually, no more questions, right? Let me double check. Ismail, the one problem to make good marketing is make a brand style, especially with story. Absolutely. I need a keyword to help me, please. Again, I don't know your brand, so Ismail, I don't know your brand, Ismail Yaman. So please voice message me your brand, and I'll give you some ideas. So can you continue tomorrow? Only one day. I don't know if there for me no tomorrow. Sorry, there is tomorrow. I don't mean no tomorrow. I mean this is my session, but I don't know with the hackathon if there's something else. How can I drag customer? I answered that. Which prefer market brand international or locally, and why? Which is prefer market brand international or local? I go local, man. I go local all the way, all the way. No one understands your market like somebody who's living next to you. No one understands the power of what you do than somebody next to you. I usually go for my local. I don't care about the global. I actually try to sell the global some of my services. So locally, in my view, is better, except if nothing available locally. So for example, I didn't meet yet the illustrator or the artist that does amazing work with good price. But if you go to Ukraine or you go to Belarus, amazing artist that fits my budget, you know, I go and buy from Belarus or from Ukraine. Or Russia, but Russia is a little bit more expensive. So it depends. No more questions. You can extend. Thank you. Assessment link will be sent. Assessment link. Okay. So assessment probably is the feedback form. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll end today. Okay. Thank you, Kais, Dropbox, Airbnb, and some brilliant exponential growth moves on $0 budgets for sure. Okay. So since there's no more questions, Qusay, thank you again for your comment. The zero budget is a test for you and your ability and how good is the brand. A lot of the brands, as I told you, I don't coach, but I have few friends that I mentor. I tell them, if you can launch your product less than $1,000, there's a big chance that you'll be successful. And if you lose it, you will not. It's not going to be a trauma for you. I don't know, is it an Arabic mindset or it's something in the Middle East? People love to start with the office and prestige and whatever. Waste of money. No office, no prestige, nothing. You, your computer, your mobile, your voice. I'm going to tell you 2 stories to end up my session. And of course, I'm ultimately grateful for the time and questions that you spent here. I'm grateful for the hackathon team, really hard work. Thank you for inviting me. Here are my stories. I was in Greece. I don't know, 15 years ago or something. And in the place that I'm in, there is a guy that sells products on a donkey. I don't know, it's familiar for a lot of the Middle Easterns. I think it's all over the world. This person that walks and shouts and say, I have honey, he sells something every day. So one day honey, one day, I don't know, vegetables, etc. And I went to him and he doesn't speak a word in Arabic, and I'm getting some honey and he's talking to me and he said, Nam, name. I said, Kais. He said, Khais, whatever. I liked the guy and I really connected to him. And after probably 10 years, I went back to this place called Hanioti, and I asked about this guy, and they said he owns now the village. He owns the full village. Can you imagine? So I asked the person who invited me, how? And he said he asked him the same question, and he pointed to his mouth and he said, it's this. And honestly, the guy has a mouth that speaks honey, very kind, very authentic, connects to people, remember them by name, remember what they like, bring them freebies. And he's the face of his brand. He's an entrepreneur that went from a guy who's poor, selling things on a donkey, to a guy that owns a casino, a hotel, a supermarket. All of the village is his own. And I want you to think of this. He started here. The second thing I want to end up with is my personal dream. For me, and don't take it based on nationality, take it as a human talking to a human. I started in a place where people will never ever believe I will be successful. I'm an Arab guy, born here in Sharjah. I'm an engineer. I have no chance to sell luxury consulting to the world. And usually in my world, we import everything from outside. But my dream was, can we create a Middle Eastern-based consulting firm that goes and sell training on the opposite side, to Australia, to the US, to Europe, to Russia. And I think so far, I cannot tell you why it happened, but the only thing I can feel that I am doing that now with an amazing team of 24 people. And all what was behind it is a true passion and belief. And I really want to leave you with this. Use the logic, but you are the driver of your brand. Get it in with humbleness, with openness, help others, and you will find yourself growing and growing. And remember your dream. It will push you forward and it will be your story. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so grateful for the time again. Have a wonderful day and please stay in touch. Thank you. I'm just gonna, while you're leaving, I'm gonna read your comments. Word of mouth is the most powerful. You're absolutely right. Hilal, thanks, Mr. Qais. Hope to see you again. I really enjoyed it. My pleasure, Hilal, and no need to call me Mr. You can call me Qais. Pure Soul, thank you. Moza, really thanks. My pleasure. Suha, thanks. Appreciate it. My pleasure. Saad Khan, peace to you too. Best of luck. Thank you for the story. Thank you for the compliments, Munir. Ismail, thank you. Thank you. Safa, thank you. Qusay, thank you. And we'll stay in touch. My pleasure. Pure Soul, can we contact you by email? Yes, it's kaisbedran@itsgraymatter.com. So if you look to the name, kaisbedran, at the letter that is tahat, it's itsgraymatter.com. You can always connect to me, and the same with the hackathon. You can talk to the hackathon team, and of course they will connect you to all the speakers that you need questions from. Abdullah, thank you, and Hadil, thank you. So I'll just wait for your contact. I think the admin team will close the session. Meanwhile, have a wonderful, wonderful day.